The objective of this tutorial is to display data on a page, and let's see how. This is where we left our previous tutorial. We had these lines and this was the project. So now this time we will be using pages. So right click and add a new folder. We'll call it pages. The name of the folder is pages, and this pages spellings, they are hard coded in the engine. You should also call your folder as pages. Anything else will not work. Right click and add a new item, and this box will open. ASP.NET Core, select an empty Razor page. The name is index.cshtml, the default page. And when you add, this is like how it will appear. You will see two files, a pair of files. This .cs file is the backing class. This contains the code for your, this is the code file, the program file, and this CSHTML is the markup file. It contains the HTML part. So we have a pair of files for index, and this is the index.cshtml file. Let me make spaces here. So this is the page directive. This is the directive called page directive. It is compulsory for a Razor page. It is a sort of signature. It has to be present always at the start. Next we have the @model directive. This is the path to your backing class. The backing class is connected to this file through this model directive, and this is the backing class. As you can see, the index model class. This class comes from the page model class. This is the index model class, and this is where the path is my project pages index model, and you can see my project pages index model, the fully qualified path. And this @ block is a custom code space that you can write your program. We will not use in this project, in this program, today's lecture, so we'll delete it away. And this is, we'll come back. We don't need onGet today, so we'll delete it. And we will add a property called public string. This property name we have added getSet, and we also add another property int. We'll say it counter. We are adding any two properties. So these are the two properties that we have added, and then we'll add a constructor. Inside the constructor, we will set these properties to some fixed values because we are just learning. So we'll just write hoven.in. The first and the counter property, we can set it to any number, and this is what we have at the moment. So this is the constructor, and the name and counter properties have been set here. Now this name and counter, they are the data that we will show there. This is the data that we are planning to display today. This will tell you how we can show data on our Razor page. Now index.cshtml. Here we create an h1 tag. This tag we write @model. the property that we want to display. And here this at is a razor a syntax which says C# starts here. So this marks the point where C# starts, and model is the backing class, the reference, the object reference to the backing class instance that works here, and name is the property that we set there. So this is how we have shown add model dot this name property. This is what will be shown in the h1 tag. Now we'll come to the program.cs file and remove these because the request is now to be handled by our razor page. So we say app.map razor pages. So our requests will be processed by the razor pages, and this says requests to be handled by razor pages. So razor page will be processed. For example, if a request is https and home page is requested, so request will be sent through a process of index. Index is the default, and in case we say we have an about route here, then an about.cs HTML file will have to be present here. It is that file which will process the request. We also have to add service for razor pages because all the components are optional, so we have to specifically say builder.services.add razor pages. Some projects might not use razor pages, so we won't add, but we are using. This order is important. This order is important. Service first, then build, and then map razor pages. So this is done first, and after that map razor pages will handle the requests. Let's run it, and we can see that the string is in fact displayed as we expected on the home page. So next we can, this is what we displayed, and next we can, this is what we displayed, and next we can now use a for loop to display that counter. Int I equal to 0, I less than model dot counter. We don't need to use @ sign everywhere. It has to be used only where a new code starts, I++, and inside some tag we can say at I is equal to at I. So at is used wherever a new code starts. This is a break here, so break of HTML. So this @ sign similarly break here. This @ says that we are starting C# again. So you will get used to razor syntax like that, and you should practice it also, and when we run it we see that the loop actually outputs the data. Understand this, try to study this. The razor syntax is best learned slowly. So we'll close it right now. We'll close it. You should practice it. Thank you.